So now I got some questions. We're going to conclude another few more questions here, quick enough so that we can start round 2 of competition, right? So get yourself ready. Now, how many of you here from HR? Any HR people? Okay, great. Any senior management bosses who are evaluating, should I send people to PMP certifications? Okay, there's only 1 or 2. So the rest of you, what are you guys here for? Huh? Any headhunter here? No. Now, this is a question for Ganesh, that as a head of PMO, you are sitting between senior management and junior project managers, right? The project managers often enough come to you and say, I'm the best project manager right now, send me for certifications. But when you go up, the senior management often have limited budget, right? What would be your selection criteria, or how do you handle that? There are more people want to attend PMP certification, but senior management only have limited budget.
Okay, that's a tough one. Well, when we hire someone, we have this framework, we call it IDP. It's referred as an individual development plan. So we will go through with an individual and assess where they are when it comes to skills. We're looking at project management perspective, right? So that's divided into 2, like technical competencies, behavioral competencies. Along with that, we'll plan out what are the gaps. If project management is a gap, then we will drive them to get certified, and we will tie that back to their KPI, right? So if, let's say, everyone, all the employees basically fall in that category, then we have to put them in queue.
Okay, so you have to put them in queue. So that not necessary that you ask for PMP certification, they will be granted. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So my interesting, Haslina, alright, the previous questions was easy question for you, by the way. Okay, that is like read from the script why senior management sent us, right? Now, after they sent you for PMP certifications, is there any significant differences after 11 of you came back with PMP certification, back to work now? Is there any significant differences?
Significant on me.
Significant on
No, not really, I'm just joking. The first attempt, what the team is trying to do is change the name of the unit, because the project management office is actually not very suitable right now, because we have lots of the projects report to the one boss, I mean head of PMO, and in our views, I think the project management office supposed to be changed the name to the program management office and widen the scope compared to now. Okay, that is our personal opinion. But the second thought is, what really gives you significance after being certified is, first is of course your self-esteem. Okay. Previously we run the project without this kind of certifications. Okay, people's always doubt, especially we have to handle so-called technical project space. Okay, and then with this kind of certifications, we just not to limit ourselves to the 30% of this technical knowledge, but we have advantage to run the project team as well. I mean, to lead the project team as well. We have this kind of project management skills. Okay, with previous years project managers experience, so we blend both. So the change is understanding the requirements, because this is what we lack of before. We did not really understand the project's all about. Okay, we just run as usual, but whenever we just came back from the this kind of certification, we do understand. First thing is understand your customer's requirements. Okay, so I think maybe I could answer these questions.
So great. So basically, right after your team came back, and the significant changes from what I gather is that change the name from PMO to compliance management. So I suppose earlier maybe the PMO, the P stand for police, is it? Did anyone of you heard about this joke? You know, the PMO, the P stand for Police Management Department. You know, what is your status? What is your status? Yeah, you guys don't understand this PMO. Okay, now let us start. Okay, the rules can change as the way I wish. Team B, 60 seconds from now. Questions? That is not part of a job scope. Being an MC, you have to run up and down.
Good afternoon. I'm Truman from Noble Gorgeous. Okay, as we know, in order to pass PMP exam, we must think in PMIism manner, right? So in real life, provided according to PMIism, we cannot do gold plating, right? So in real life, provided you enter a project and you already completed whatever deliverable listed in the WBS. Okay, but one day your customer come and look for you and say, okay, I do not have budget at all, but additional budget at all, but I need to get some additional tasks to be done. So as a project manager or a company shareholder point of view, how are you going to handle that in real life? Are you going to say yes or no, and why? Thanks.
So let me take the opportunity to rephrase the questions also for the benefit of those non-PMP. Going through the PMP certification is like a kind of a teaching. Okay, to some extent people call it as a religion, that they try to script your thinking to this so-called PMI way of thinking. One of them is we don't promote gold plating. Basically, the concept of gold plating is you do meet the exact requirement, but not go beyond that. So, but our question is, but your customer asks you to go beyond that. Okay? So, anyone want to take this question? Definitely not me, because that's a tough one.
Okay, we in the software world, we do experience this day in and day out, right? Requirement evolve, especially in a waterfall model. That's the reason most of the company now going with Agile, Scrum. So that goes back to the organization. If it's a strategic account, then they will accept everything. They will make business continuity, they will make profit on the next change requests or projects. So it very much depends on the organization direction.
Okay.
Does that answer the question? Okay.
So, but every customer believes that I am the most important customer of you. Alright? I'm a key account. Okay, question from team A. One question please. Two questions even score 1 point.
Hello.
Yes.
I have two points for 2 questions.
Okay,
anyway,
please.
you seem to be not interested today. So I have a question. We're talking about the changing requirements from customer, right? So we have a customer who have a project, they're given it to us. We have freeze the requirements, right? 7 months down the line, when we are supposed to sort of deliver the project, there's a change in the requirement. So for me, it's a risk. How to mitigate this risk? That's the question. And I have another question, which is about WBS. Till how many levels we should go into the disintegration? That's the question.
Do you have a question specific to any panelist? Or is it open?
It's open to all, I'm sure.
Okay. So the first question is that if the customer comes back to you on the change request, you should view it as a new risk. How do you handle that? The next question is that what level of WBS is the right level of WBS? Am I get the question correct? Okay.
Okay, for the first one, basically, whatever change management procedures that has been established during the project charter, then the change request has to go according to that process. So whatever that has been defined at the planning stage, it might go into identifying the impact analysis, coming out with the proposal, submitting, and it's up to the project team or the organization whether you want to deliver within the master project or you take it as a separate stream altogether. So is that fine? Okay. Yeah, on top of that, is basically another key area is managing the expectation, right? Meeting the expectation of the stakeholders.
Haslina, you have something to say?
Yeah, because this has not been taught in the PMP classes. But what we know is the counting technique. Okay, counting technique means you may go the requirements with your customer. Maybe some of the preset requirements is actually not really the requirements and mandatory at this moment. So the kind of the technique that we have to apply. And the second, to answer your to what extent the WBS level is actually, we have to bear in mind the project is actually unique. Each project is unique. Until what level is, until you can define your WBS is answerable to your project objectives or not. Okay? Because we have natures of the projects. If the project is so-called basic research in TMR&D, we do apply. If the project has needs your team to venture into this new technology, we should apply the rolling wave plan. That means maybe up to the second level only. We do not know yet what will happen until we enter to that stage.
Great, thank you. Let's give all the panelists a round. Questions from Steve.
I'm Charmaine from PMO Zurich Insurance. Now I have questions for maybe perhaps Haslina or the other panel. Now we have in our organizations, we have a project manager, which without PMP has been running or leading the projects for the past, okay, and we have successfully implemented. Now, if I want to approach or propose our HR to send this group of PM to PMP certification, perhaps the panel can share with me what are the strong points of which I can convince the HR or top management of these people sending the project manager to the PMP. You know, they may say they have been running the project for so many big projects and be successfully done, and why should I send these people to PMP? Like, if they have been done so well without PMP. So how do I convince the top management or HR perhaps to get some sponsor from there, you know, sending these people for PMP?
That was an excellent question. Is your HR in this room?
No, unfortunately they are not here.
Call her, I'll call him, then we have lunch together. I think it's interestingly that three of the panelists here have experience as well. Obviously, Haslina has sent a group of people for PMP certifications. Same as Michael Ling, also a group, and same as Razi last time in MSCTC, there was a whole group, right? Whole group of people going in. Perhaps, that kind of like 2 minutes, what was behind? And how do you convince HR to pay?
The first thing is you have to know what is your gap right now and why do you need to send that. Like we shared the experience from the TMR&D, we had gap previously. Okay, we do practice the project management, but don't get the certifications. And depending on which type of customer are you facing right now, is that the internal customer or external customer? Internal. Okay, for internal customer, as I said just now, is a self-esteem and bring up the confidence level. So the project managers with the PMP certified, I can assure you, people outside who wanted them to run your projects is looking for them because they know this kind of people has sets of knowledge, has sets of skills and experience before. So mixture of them is actually advantage to the company.
So how about Ganesh? You know, like at one point there was about more than 10, you know, Michael Ling send up people for certifications. Yeah.
So it depends very much on the organization's approach, right? Every organization have their own way of developing the talents, and PMP is one of the way. So if any of the HR have that approach, have that perspective in plan, then PMP is one of the training that, you know, the individual grow together with the company or the organization. That's one of the way you retain talent.